No question, no lies, I'm a boss bitch. And I God, I'ma grind till my heart quits. Yeah, she hungry for the money and she's all in. Cause she no slave and she gonna win. Big bands to the side, ain't no losses. Stack bands, no ties, except for my kid. Only thing that's on her mind is to be rich. And she no slave and she gonna win. No sleep, no sleep, no sleep. No sleep, no sleep, no sleep. Yeah, she hungry for the money and she's all in. Cause she no slave and she go.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Phoenix Novell, and thank you for tuning into another Boss Bitch Tips episode. This episode is called Why You Should Never Marry for Love. Some people might have a lot to say. They might disagree. They might think it's, getting married because you're in love with somebody is the best reason why you should get married. I don't agree. Now, I've never been married, but I'm speaking from having friends and family members who have been married, gotten divorced, or are still married and just miserable because they experienced what it's like to just be on an emotional roller coaster when you're invested in someone, but things don't work out, or somebody's cheating, or you're just drifting apart and you feel stuck because you have all of your assets and everything tied in with this person, or you're sharing houses or taxes or responsibilities. And so I decided to make this video just to kind of like share my opinion. That's all it is, my opinion as to why I think getting married for love is not the best reason to tie the knot. So I think that the institution of marriage has been created in such a way that it's more so, to me, it seems like a business transaction. It seems like it's something that's set in place to try as best as possible to keep these people, together through thick and thin, when sometimes, you just cannot measure emotions. You can't guarantee that you're going to feel the same way. You can't say through sickness and health you're going to feel this way about this person. And I feel like it's set up in a way that would be best for a business transaction or some kind of agreement that's advantageous to all parties involved. But to do it under the guise of love is just unrealistic. It's just, the numbers just don't add up. So many people stay in these relationships and they cheat, or they pretend to be happy, or they settle when, if they weren't married, they would just bounce along and move along and let each other go to find somebody who is better. I just think that it's been built up in such a way that doesn't allow people to be real and honest with themselves. We don't know how we're going to feel. Somebody says something that pisses us off and we don't see them like we thought they were, or they treat us in such a way that we never expected they would, or the chemistry that was once there is lost, and we don't know if it's ever going to come back, or we meet somebody else that we find we're more compatible with, that we wouldn't cheat with, if we weren't married. We would just probably move on, or we would just let the person know, hey, you know what, you're free to go. But so many people are afraid. I've been watching a lot of comedians, and a lot of them talk about how unfair, a lot of the guys talk about how unfair the divorce system is in terms of, having to pay. It's really, I think, the spouse that earns the most or whatever, but like in a lot of the cases, it is the male, and they're always talking about how unfair it is with how much they have to give up because they decided they don't want to be with this person anymore. The institution of marriage, the whole ring idea, the whole idea of joint taxes and me having to pay you for this, based on how much income you have or what you brought to the table, or prenuptial agreements, postnuptial agreements. All of these things. I'm not just talking about the child, childbearing or like kids in custody, because you can do that with or without marriage. That's the thing. But when it comes to marriage, the whole system is set up in such a way where it goes through the government. It goes through having witnesses and people being able to say, these people are married. It's like it's meant for people to join you together on paper, and that follows you. And then you got to go through a process of splitting up, and it has to be on paper, and assets divided, and property, and what did you come in with versus what I came in with. You can't do that with emotions. You cannot do that with emotions. And so it's like we're not even looking at the facts. We're not looking at the fact that we know that you cannot sit there and tell somebody that you're going to love them for the rest of their life or your life. You can't do it. You want to. You really, really want to. You want to believe that the way you feel right now is the way you're going to feel about this person for the rest of your natural life. And that's the reason why marriage is set up in such a way, is because it has to be based on something, right? Like it has to be based on something other than your fleeting emotions. Now you do have some people who are crazy in love, who stay in love, who enjoy each other, who are friends, who have made the right choice and they knew, and it's years later. But there are so many who are unhappy, who are miserable, who cheat on each other, who lie to their partners, who lie to themselves, who, find self-coping mechanisms to deal with the fact that they're not happy in relationships with somebody who should have just been a season that turned into a lifetime kind of deal. And it's debilitating. It's debilitating. It's sad to see this, as somebody who's not married, to know people who are, to have relationships with people who are married, to be related to people who are married, and they complain and they're just not happy, and you see it and the kids see it, and it's just like, I don't believe that the institution and the way that they've set it up to be so transactional is healthy for people who are in love. Love is organic. Love is ever flowing and fluctuating, and it's never stagnant. There are moments of insecurity, and then moments of power and trust and strength, and it's supposed to be delicate. There's supposed to be a lightness of clasping, but a looseness so that you can have room for the other person's emotions to fluctuate as well. There needs to be that flexibility. But when you bind it on paper, sometimes that alone scares the hell out of people and makes them feel trapped. Love is a feeling, and feelings should be able to move, and it's in that movability that makes a person feel comfortable and free to stay, because they feel like, I'm making the choice to stay, not that I'm pressured to stay because I got my assets tied into this, or I work so hard for this to be what it is. There has to be room for people to grow apart, room for people to feel like it's okay to grow apart, and not like, oh my God, this sucks. I need space and I can't have it. But you have so many people who, they do it because they want the security. But don't make it seem like you want the security for love. You want the security because you know that in love there is no security. So you want to hedge your bets on saying, okay, I'm going to invest my time and my attention to this, and if I get married, then I won't walk away with nothing. Just the whole premise of it is based on security. And love is a feeling that you feel for certain people. It's free, it's flowing, and it's not something for everybody. So trying to lock that in, it just goes against what its nature is. When a person loves you and they want to be with you, they want to take care of you. They want to spend time with you. They want to enjoy you. And feeling like you have to lock them in to do that, it's like, it's such an oxymoron. It goes against what the nature of love is. I think marriage should be for people who are interested in going into business together. Look, if you happen to be in love, okay, that is spectacular, wonderful, amazing. Definitely all day long, go do it. Yay. But I don't think that you need to be married to be in love and to experience that person. But if you want to start a business with this person, or you are really, really, really close friends and it's going to help them out if they're married to you because they live far away and it's easier to help them with a visa, it's something in the sense of business transaction, because that's what it really is protecting you from. It's protecting you from that. But we know what happens when we get emotionally invested. What do? We try to get the other person back by taking the money, or putting them through the ringer for cheating on us, or doing something where we feel like there's some way to weigh it, but you're not really weighing the love, you're weighing the pain. And even that premise is very flawed, because again, you're trying to gauge your emotional investment. You're trying to put a number on your emotional investment, and it's not love if that's the case, right? So like, if you love somebody, if you want to be with them, you should be free to be with them without needing to have some kind of security in place that determines that they love you as much as you love them. It's just the institution, to me, is ass backwards. If some of you guys might not agree, some of you might agree, please leave a message and talk. Let's talk about it. But I want you to be honest, as to why you feel the need to get married. If you think it made you closer or love the person more, or if you feel like it made you feel like, I can't get away, I feel stuck. You know what I'm saying? Because emotions are not meant to be bottled. They're not meant to be chained or bound or cemented in such a way that's based on you staying, and if you don't stay, I get this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's your girl Phoenix Novell, and I'll see you next time for another Boss Bitch Tips episode. Peace.